Welcome to Stoic Flame channel.
Have you ever encountered individuals who speak infrequently? When they do, their words command attention and carry undeniable weight. It's as if everyone leans in, eager to absorb their every utterance. Whether these individuals are consciously aware of it or not, they are harnessing an extraordinary, often underestimated power, the power behind remaining silent. This isn't merely about holding your tongue, it's about mastering an art that can profoundly transform your life, relationships, and even your professional trajectory. In a world constantly buzzing with noise and an incessant demand for immediate responses, the concept of silence might seem counterintuitive. Staying quiet is frequently more impactful than speaking, and understanding this paradox is key to unlocking its potential. This article will guide you through the profound depths of strategic silence, exploring why it's not a sign of weakness, but rather a profound display of strength and wisdom. You'll discover how silence can serve as an invaluable tool for personal growth, emotional control, and achieving professional success. Imagine a scenario where your words, when finally spoken, resonate with a newfound authority and significance. This is the transformative effect of strategic silence. It makes your voice more influential, ensures you are more respected, and fosters a deeper sense of peace within yourself and with others. It's crucial to understand that embracing this power isn't about becoming mute or passive. Instead, it's akin to a skilled martial artist who discerns precisely when to strike and when to hold back. Your words become powerful strikes, and your silence becomes your strategic stance, amplifying the impact of your voice precisely when you choose to use it. This underutilized skill, often overlooked in our fast-paced society, can profoundly shift conversation dynamics, lead to breakthrough insights, and significantly enhance your emotional intelligence and decision-making abilities. Are you ready to unlock this hidden superpower and apply it practically in your daily life? 12 crucial situations where remaining silent can be your greatest strength. The mastery of silence manifests most powerfully in specific scenarios where immediate verbal responses often lead to regret or unintended consequences. Here are 12 crucial situations where choosing silence can truly become your greatest strength. 1. Dealing with unfair criticism. Our innate instinct when confronted with unfair criticism is almost always to jump to our own defense. We feel a primal urge to rebut, to explain, to justify. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy focused on virtue and resilience, offers a radical alternative: silence. When you choose to remain silent in the face of groundless accusations or unmerited critique, you are not conceding defeat or admitting guilt. Quite the opposite. You are demonstrating an unshakable confidence in your own actions and character. Consider a high-stakes business meeting where a colleague unfairly criticizes your project, implying incompetence. Your immediate emotional response might be to launch a passionate defense, detailing every hour of effort. However, by taking a strategic pause, remaining silent, and maintaining composed eye contact, you convey a deeper self-assurance. This nonverbal declaration says, "My work, my integrity, speaks for itself." This allows your colleagues to observe your calm, rational demeanor and potentially question the accuser's motives, rather than getting caught up in an emotional exchange. This silence isn't a void, it's a strategic space that grants you invaluable time to reflect, evaluate the criticism, and identify opportunities for personal growth. It shifts your focus from the external judgments of others to your internal journey of improvement. Remember, your inherent worth is never determined by the fluctuating opinions of others. By mastering this Stoic practice, you not only avoid unproductive conflict but also actively cultivate a profound sense of inner peace and wisdom. You demonstrate a maturity that disarms the critic and reinforces your reputation for dignity and self-possession. 2. Dealing with anger. How often have moments of intense anger led to a torrent of words you later desperately wished you could retract? Words spoken in rage, even if later regretted, can leave lasting scars on relationships and reputations. Stoicism provides a powerful antidote to this destructive cycle: silence in the face of rage. This is not about suppressing your emotions or bottling them up until they explode. Instead, it's about mastering your emotions, gaining control over their immediate expression. Imagine a scenario where a loved one says something deeply hurtful in the heat of an argument. Your entire being might scream for an immediate, equally sharp retort. However, by consciously choosing to pause even for just a few seconds, you create a critical buffer. In that quiet moment, the intense heat of anger begins to dissipate, allowing a sliver of rationality to return. You might recall previous instances where an angry outburst escalated the conflict, or you might realize the underlying pain driving your loved one's words. This brief period of silence allows you to choose a constructive response instead of a reactive one. That crucial moment of silence can be the fundamental difference between a regrettable outburst and a thoughtful, measured response. It offers you the vital perspective needed to understand the true root of your anger and to discern the most constructive path forward. By opting for silence over an immediate, furious reaction, you are not being passive. You are actively shaping the situation with emotional intelligence and self-control. These are qualities that not only command respect but also confer significant influence in any interaction. 3. Coping with loss. In the overwhelming silence that often accompanies loss, there can be an unspoken pressure to fill the void with words to offer comfort, explanations, or condolences, even when words feel utterly inadequate. Stoicism gently reminds us of the profound strength found in reflective silence when facing loss. In moments of deep grief, words often fall tragically short, unable to capture the immense weight of emotion. Consider someone grappling with the sudden passing of a close family member. Well-meaning friends might flood them with advice or platitudes, urging them to stay strong or move on, but true healing often begins not in conversation, but in quiet introspection. A person in mourning might find solace simply sitting in silence, allowing memories to surface, tears to fall unjudged, and the raw emotions of grief to be felt without interruption. This quiet space allows them to process the enormity of their feelings, to slowly accept the new reality, and to gradually find a pathway towards integrating the loss into their life's journey. Instead of scrambling for the right thing to say, or feeling compelled to speak, embrace the quiet. This silence is far from empty. It is a profound space filled with reflection, acceptance, and the quiet unfolding of healing. It grants you the invaluable time to honor your raw emotions and to slowly, gently, find meaning within the experience. Silence empowers you to process grief at your own unique pace, free from the often unspoken pressures of societal expectations. It is often within these quiet, reflective moments that individuals unearth the resilience and strength required to move forward, not by forgetting the loss, but by profoundly integrating it into the tapestry of their life's ongoing journey. If you're still on this ride, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe before we jump into the next section. It really motivates us to keep making more videos. Let's move on. 4. Navigating ignorance. How do you typically react when confronted with ignorance or a profound misunderstanding? is your first inclination to immediately correct, to argue, or to prove your point. The Stoic approach, surprisingly, suggests a different path: try silence. This isn't about conceding to ignorance or passively accepting misinformation. Instead, it's a strategic choice to select your battles wisely, recognizing that not every misguided comment requires an immediate rebuttal. Imagine you're participating in a group discussion, and someone makes a statement based on clearly flawed information, perhaps even repeating a baseless rumor. Your immediate impulse might be to interject with facts and figures, but doing so could turn the conversation into a confrontational debate. Instead, you could choose to remain silent, allowing the statement to hang in the air. This quiet can prompt others in the group to pause, to consider the veracity of what was said, and perhaps even to question the source themselves. Your silence doesn't endorse the ignorance, it creates a space for others to reflect, and for the truth to potentially emerge more naturally from collective thought rather than direct confrontation. Your silence, in such instances, can function as a powerful teacher, subtly encouraging others to reflect on their own assumptions and biases. Furthermore, this patient approach grants you invaluable time to understand the underlying root of the misunderstanding. Perhaps there's an unexplored context, a hidden fear, or a genuine gap in knowledge that you hadn't considered. By responding with patient silence, you create a far more fertile ground for genuine dialogue and mutual growth, rather than devolving into a fruitless argument. Remember, wisdom often communicates its message more profoundly through the quiet strength of silence than through a flurry of hasty, reactive words. 5. Handling false accusations. When faced with the unsettling sting of a false accusation, the overwhelming instinct is to defend oneself immediately, to loudly proclaim innocence. Stoicism imparts a powerful lesson: truth possesses an inherent ability to reveal itself over time. By consciously choosing to remain silent in the face of such an injustice, you are not admitting guilt, you are, in fact, projecting an unwavering confidence in your innocence and integrity. Consider a scenario where you are falsely accused of taking credit for a colleague's work. Your initial reaction might be to send an angry email refuting the claim point by point, potentially escalating the conflict. Instead, you choose to calmly acknowledge the accusation, perhaps stating that you are confident in the accuracy of your contributions, and then remain silent on the matter publicly. This composure conveys a sense of strong self-belief. Privately, you gather any evidence, emails, timestamps, project notes, without public panic. Your calm demeanor, coupled with the eventual presentation of clear evidence, often leads others to naturally question the validity of the initial accusation, seeing you as stable and trustworthy while the accuser may appear frantic or malicious. This strategic silence provides you with crucial time to gather your thoughts and, if necessary, to collect irrefutable evidence that corroborates your truth. It prevents you from uttering something in haste or frustration that could later be misinterpreted or used against you. Your serene silence, maintained even when under intense scrutiny, can be far more potent than any immediate, defensive retort. It is a compelling display of strength of character that frequently compels others to question the very validity of the accusations themselves, leading them to ultimately recognize your integrity. 6. In times of personal hardship, life is inherently unpredictable, and often it throws unexpected and fair situations our way. How do you typically react when confronted with personal hardship? Do you complain, lash out, or retreat into self-pity? Stoicism offers a more resilient approach, finding strength in silence during these trying times. This silence is not about passive acceptance or surrendering to fate. Instead, It's a deliberate act of focusing your precious energy on the elements within your control, rather than dwelling on the uncontrollable external circumstances. Imagine receiving devastating news, such as a significant career setback or a personal crisis. Your first impulse might be to vent frustrations to anyone who will listen, or to fall into a spiral of despair. However, by taking a moment of quiet reflection, you allow your initial emotional turmoil to subside. In that stillness, you might identify concrete steps you can take to mitigate the damage, or discover alternative paths you hadn't considered. This quiet internal strategizing helps you conserve emotional energy, prevent rash decisions, and maintain a sense of calm resilience even when the external world feels chaotic. Within this quiet space, you can strategize effectively and identify constructive solutions to the challenges you face. It's about steadfastly maintaining your inner peace and composure, even when the world around you seems to be in utter chaos. By consciously choosing silence over complaint or reaction, you are not surrendering to hardship. You are actively gathering your inner strength and fortifying your resolve to face it with unwavering art, resilience, and profound wisdom. Remember, the true measure of your character is not defined by the situation itself, but by the thoughtful, measured way in which you choose to respond to it. 7. During verbal insults. Verbal insults, even seemingly minor ones, can pierce through our emotional armor, leaving a stinging sensation that often triggers a desire for immediate retaliation. Why do insults wound us so deeply? Stoicism offers a powerful and counterintuitive antidote: silence. When confronted with verbal attacks, our reflexive inclination is often to retort with an equally sharp comeback. However, consider the profound impact your silence can have. It can speak far louder than any verbal comeback you might muster. Picture a public figure, perhaps a politician or an artist, being subjected to a barrage of unprovoked personal insults from an interviewer or an audience member. Their immediate response could be to engage in a verbal sparring match, which often devolves into an undignified spectacle. Instead, they remain quiet, maintaining eye contact, perhaps with a slight, knowing nod or a calm and reactive expression. This silence utterly disarms the insulter, who expected a reaction, leaving them bewildered and their aggression deflated. The public observes this calm composure and perceives the insulted individual as dignified and above petty squabbles, while the insulter appears boorish. By choosing to remain quiet, you are not exhibiting weakness, you are unequivocally demonstrating unshakable inner strength. This silence subtly powerfully disarms the insulter, often leaving them confused, uncomfortable, and without the desired reaction. It's a form of peaceful, dignified resistance, much like the quiet fortitude famously displayed by figures like Gandhi. Your silence in the face of insults powerfully conveys that you are not easily provoked, and that you fundamentally value your inner peace far above engaging in petty, unproductive conflicts. It is a compelling display of emotional maturity that can, surprisingly, transform a potential adversary into a respectful observer. If you're still with us, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe before we jump into the next section. It really motivates us to keep making more videos. Let's move on. 8. During arguments and conflicts. How frequently do heated disagreements, characterized by rapid-fire retorts and escalating tensions, genuinely lead to constructive resolution? More often than not, they devolve into shouting matches where winning the argument overshadows finding a solution. Stoicism proposes a profound alternative: strategic silence in the midst of disagreement. Instead of immediately countering an opponent's point, try pausing. Imagine a team meeting where a critical project decision is being debated. Two colleagues are passionately arguing opposing viewpoints, interrupting each other and raising their voices. You, holding a different perspective, might be tempted to jump into the fray and assert your opinion loudly. Instead, you choose to take a deep breath and remain silent for a moment, letting the immediate tension subside. This allows you to truly listen to the nuances of both arguments, understanding not just what is being said, but perhaps the underlying concerns or goals driving each person. This pause then enables you to articulate your point of view more clearly and calmly, or even to propose a compromise that bridges the gap. Because you took the time to understand the full landscape of the conflict. This silence is not an abandonment of your position. Rather, it's a deliberate act of creating space for understanding. Use this quiet moment to truly and deeply listen to the other person's perspective. You might be surprised to discover common ground you hadn't anticipated, or gain valuable new insights that shift your own viewpoint. By consciously choosing silence, you are not merely avoiding an escalation of the conflict, you are actively paving the way for more productive and meaningful dialogue. Remember, the ultimate goal in any conflict should not be to win at all costs, but to collaboratively find the optimal solution, and often, a moment of silence is the critical first step towards achieving that. 9. Pursuing personal improvement. In our modern world, saturated with constant noise, notifications, and distractions, have you ever truly considered the profound role silence can play as a catalyst for personal development? Stoicism places significant emphasis on the transformative power of quiet introspection. Intentional silence, consciously sought amidst the cacophony of daily life, can be nothing short of revolutionary. It is in these cherished, quiet moments that you can genuinely connect with your deepest self and clarify your core values. Think of a busy professional who feels overwhelmed by the constant demands of their job and personal life. They might attempt to improve by reading self-help books or attending seminars, but true change often begins internally. By dedicating just 15 to 30 minutes each morning to silent meditation or quiet reflection, without phone or distractions, this individual can tune into their inner state. In this stillness, they can reflect on yesterday's actions, moments of success, areas for improvement, and alignment with their long-term goals. This consistent practice allows them to identify patterns, challenge limiting beliefs, and cultivate a deeper sense of self-awareness that external tools alone cannot provide. Utilize this precious silence to profoundly reflect on your actions, your thoughts, and your overarching goals. It provides an unparalleled opportunity for honest self-assessment and mindful living. By regularly integrating the practice of silence into your routine, you are not merely avoiding external chatter, you are actively tuning into your inner wisdom. This consistent habit can unlock profound insights, foster a much deeper understanding of both yourself and the complex world around you, and ultimately propel your journey of personal growth forward. 10. Dealing with provocation. Have you ever sensed that someone is deliberately trying to elicit a reaction from you, pushing your buttons to get a rise? This is precisely where the disciplined practice of Stoic silence can become your most potent secret weapon. When confronted with explicit provocation, your immediate, knee-jerk reaction might be to engage, to respond in kind, or to defend yourself vehemently. However, what if your silence could be exponentially more powerful than any verbal comeback? Consider a particularly annoying relative at a family gathering who makes snide remarks designed to irk you. Your usual response might be to snap back, leading to an awkward family feud. Instead, when they deliver their provocative line, you meet it with a calm and blinking gaze and absolute silence. You don't dignify it with a response. This act of quiet composure denies the provocateur the emotional reaction they craved. They might try again, but without a rise from you, their energy quickly dissipates, and they are left feeling foolish or ineffective. While you maintain your inner peace and demonstrate a powerful command over your emotions. By deliberately choosing to remain quiet, you are not just avoiding an unnecessary conflict, you are actively disarming the provocateur. This profound silence unequivocally demonstrates your emotional intelligence and superior self-control. It sends a clear message that you are not easily manipulated, nor are you easily thrown off balance by external attempts to destabilize you. In these critical moments, your quiet composure, your unruffled demeanor, speaks volumes about the strength and integrity of your character. Remember, responding to every single provocation is an exhausting and often utterly unproductive endeavor. Your strategic silence acts as an impenetrable shield, preserving your valuable energy for the things that truly matter in your life. 11. When making decisions. In the pivotal moments of decision-making, particularly when the stakes are high, have you ever felt an overwhelming pressure to provide an immediate response or make a swift judgment? Stoicism offers a vital reminder of the immense power inherent in contemplative silence during these crucial junctures. When confronted with important choices, the most effective approach is to intentionally take a moment of quiet reflection before speaking or acting. Imagine a business leader faced with a complex decision about a major investment that could impact the entire company. Their team might be looking to them for an immediate directive. Instead of giving a snap judgment, the leader calls for a brief recess or takes a few hours to retreat into quiet solitude. During this period, they review all the data, consider various outcomes, visualize potential challenges, and most importantly, align the decision with the company's core values and long-term vision. This silence isn't procrastination, it's a deep dive into strategic thought, leading to a far more robust and confident decision that stands the test of time. This isn't mere procrastination, it is, in essence, strategic thinking in its purest form. Use this invaluable silence to meticulously weigh all your available options, to carefully consider the potential short-term and long-term outcomes, and to ensure that your ultimate choice is in perfect alignment with your deepest values and principles. By pausing thoughtfully before committing to a decision, you are not simply avoiding hasty judgments, you are actively cultivating wisdom. This disciplined practice consistently leads to more thoughtful, more confident decisions that you are far less likely to regret in the future. Always remember, the inherent quality of your decisions is often a direct reflection of the quality of your thinking processes, and frequently, the best thinking happens in profound silence. 12. When listening to others. In conversations, have you ever found yourself mentally formulating your own response or rebuttal while the other person is still speaking, barely truly hearing what they are saying? This common habit prevents genuine connection and deep understanding. Stoicism actively encourages us to embrace silence as a fundamental tool for genuine, active listening. When others are speaking, make a conscious effort to truly hear them, allowing their words to fully register without the simultaneous pressure of constructing your immediate reply. Consider a friend sharing a personal struggle with you. Your instinct might be to jump in with advice, to share a similar experience, or to offer immediate solutions. However, by consciously remaining silent, you allow your friend the space to fully articulate their feelings and thoughts without interruption. You listen not just to their words, but to the emotion behind them, to their tone, and to their body language. This deep, Attentive silence makes your friend feel truly heard, valued, and understood, which often strengthens your bond far more effectively than any immediate advice could. This silence is far from passive. It is an active and powerful form of respect and engagement. By consciously choosing to remain quiet and fully present in the moment, you open yourself up to absorbing entirely new perspectives and achieving a much deeper level of understanding. You might become aware of subtle nuances and spoken feelings, or hidden meanings that you would undoubtedly miss if you were preoccupied with crafting your own response. This profound practice not only significantly improves the quality of your relationships but also greatly enhances your own wisdom. Remember, in the profound silence of truly listening, you often learn infinitely more than you could ever possibly learn by speaking. Your thoughtful, attentive silence possesses the remarkable ability to make others feel profoundly heard and genuinely valued. The transformative effects of silence on others. Beyond the personal benefits, the power of silence extends outward, profoundly influencing how others perceive and interact with you. Have you ever paused to consider the powerful message your silence conveys to those around you? It's not simply about the absence of words, it's about the profound presence and message you project. Your strategic silence possesses an inherent ability to command respect and create intrigue. In a world filled with constant chatter, a person who chooses not to fill every moment with words stands out. This deliberate quiet signals a depth of thought and composure that naturally draws attention. It subtly shifts the dynamics of a conversation, inviting others to consider their own words more carefully. When you choose not to immediately interject or react, you grant others the invaluable space to reflect on their own assumptions, question their immediate thoughts, and truly absorb what has been said. This can lead to more thoughtful interactions and less superficial exchanges. And what about those uncomfortable silences that make most people squirm, causing a rush to fill the void? Embracing these moments can be your secret superpower. By remaining calm and composed in the face of social pressure to speak, you demonstrate an unshakable confidence. This quiet assurance reveals that you are comfortable in your own skin, unbothered by the external need to constantly perform or fill every conversational gap. This quiet confidence is inherently magnetic, drawing others to your composed and serene presence. Here's the profound kicker. The more comfortable and adept you become with the art of silence, the more significant weight your words carry when you do choose to speak. Have you ever observed how people naturally lean in, their attention sharpened, to hear someone who speaks few but exceptionally meaningful words? By consistently mastering the art of strategic silence, you're not merely altering your communication style, you are fundamentally transforming how others perceive you. You become the quintessential calm in the storm, the authoritative voice of reason in chaos, the individual whom people instinctively turn to for thoughtful, insightful contributions. Isn't it time you harness this profound Stoic superpower to consistently enhance your influence and presence? Harnessing the power of silence, building inner strength. To consistently and effectively harness this profound power of silence, it is absolutely essential to cultivate and build your inner strength. The ability to remain calm and deliberate in moments that might provoke others stems from a deep well of self-assurance and confidence. As psychologist Barbara Marquet, Ph.D., sagely points out, the more confident you become, the more you'll be able to calm the voice inside you that says I can't do it. This intrinsic link between self-belief and the ability to quiet self-doubt is fundamental. When you foster this inner strength, a remarkable transformation occurs. Your external appearance and behavior will naturally begin to reflect this profound inner fortitude. Your composure, Your measured responses and your quiet confidence become undeniable outward manifestations of your powerful internal state. It's a virtuous cycle. Practicing strategic silence builds inner strength, and that inner strength further empowers your silent resolve. To further deepen your understanding and mastery of Stoic resilience and the strengthening of your silent resolve, you might find immense value in exploring concepts like mastering inner dialogue and recognizing that nobody can make you feel bad without your permission. This principle underscores the ultimate control you possess over your emotional reactions and internal state, reinforcing the very foundation of strategic silence. Thank you for reading and exploring these profound insights into the unseen power behind remaining silent. We encourage you to reflect on these principles and consider how you might apply them in your daily life to cultivate greater influence, respect, and inner peace. If this video speaks to you, don't forget to subscribe now and click the playlist on your screen to unlock the treasure trove of stories, strategies, and Stoic wisdom. Let's level up together. Fuel your ambition, fortify your mind, and join me next time as we rise above all limits.